KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
It is a great day to be alive. On this Monday, Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Ben Brust with an undisclosed illness, hanging out at his basement. Kyle Wallace and Ashton Rodgers at the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Studios.
I watched the Aaron Rodgers documentary, Enigma, and do you have COVID toe? Let me see it.
I have socks on, and part of what is going on in my household makes me require to have socks on. Otherwise, my fiance will be very, very, very upset.
Hey!
800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. You can see us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Currently, I am sporting. What am I doing, Ashton?
You're wearing it?
Yeah, I'm wearing this nice, cozy robe in my basement. Kyle, you have your fantastic. Please describe that to the audience.
I do have a fantastic. So, see, me and Ben are on the opposite spectrums. While he has on this weird robe because he's working from home and he thinks he's probably like, I don't know, like a guy from
King of the Castle.
Yeah, King of the Castle in a robe or something like that, looking like you're the father from a Christmas story. I'm in my, our Green Bay Packers touchdown sweater. And you know why I say our?
No.
This is my girlfriend's. It look good, though, right?
It looks good, but
that's your girl.
You can't say our like that. That's weird.
It's our shirt.
Wait, you guys share clothes?
This is a whole nother topic.
The Green Bay. Listen.
Holy crap, Ashton! How did we stumble into this?
So it's our because this is my first time wearing it. It's supposed to light up. I couldn't get the battery in it.
It's a little tight now that I'm.
Yeah, it's snug. I saw Sherwin Hughes from the Troop with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7.
That side profile there.
He said that's a nice sweater, a little snug. I said it is. It's my girl's because the chest is built for a woman. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different.
And luckily you've been working your way towards that a little bit.
I've been trying to work my way away from that, but it may be snug, but I look slender and good. Don't ask me.
He does look good today. It's one of the first things I said to him was that he looks good.
So yeah, me and my girl were sharing clothes today. This is her sweater. Beautiful sweater. Beautiful. It's supposed to light up and everything with the batteries off. It doesn't work, but yeah.
Has anybody listening, 800-990-3776, ever worn something of their significant others to work and it not been a joke? Like, Ashton, help me here. I'm at a loss.
I mean, I'm new to the whole significant other game, so I don't have much for you here.
Well, have you ever thought about wearing?
No, I wouldn't. But the weirdest part, though, is not you wearing it. Like, that's fine. Share clothes. That's good. It's that you said our sweater.
It is our
That's the
now.
weirdest part. It's the weirdest thing, bro.
It's a great sweater. It's very tight, and especially around the neck. My girl is not.
I wonder why.
She's not my size. She's smaller than me. So for anybody thinking,
you uncomfortable?
This is awesome.
No, I'm actually good. The only thing I'm uncomfortable with is there legit is a wire that is in my arm, like hanging off. So there's a wire inside the shirt underneath my armpit. So thank goodness the battery isn't going because who knows what the hell could have happened. I could have caught on fire, been electrocuted. But overall, I love the sweater. I really do. And that's why I said it's now our sweater. I've worn it in public. It's Green Bay Packer Day, especially with the Packers going to get the victory tonight. I got to wear the sweater. Touchdown Packers, baby.
Isn't it a thing when you say, I love something that you don't actually love it? No, you did the I love the sweater thing right there.
In this case, I do love this sweater. I really do. I've seen it in her closet for a while, but I never thought about wearing it. But then she actually suggested, she said, "Oh, I have just the thing for you." I said, "What you got, baby?" She said, "My Green Bay Packer touchdown sweater." I said, perfecto. I'm wearing it now. I'm also going to be hanging with her family later tonight, be wearing it for that and wearing it throughout the whole Packer game. And it looks good because even you, Ben, said, I love your Packer sweater. And I said, it's our sweater.
Yeah, the tell for me was how tight the arms were. I've never seen anything so tight on your arms before. It looks very snug, but hey, you do you. You and baby girl have had a lot to talk through together. Last time we spoke on these airwaves, is it Christmas Eve morning or Christmas Day morning that your family and her family are merging?
Christmas Day morning, 9:30 at the Wallace household. Yes, the Casa Day Wallace at 9:30 on December 25th will be the first Wallace. Yes, I say Wallace because she won my last name, so it's the Wallace Casa. The Wallace.
Does she want your last name, or is that one of the things that you said you must do?
No, she wants my last name now. No, she wants it now.
Okay, I just want to make sure because, you told her she can't get a tattoo because you're controlling like that.
No, she's not one of these new age women in the relationships. You want my last name.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey,
I'm sorry.
you watch yourself, pal.
I'm sorry, Ashton.
Just because I'm hurt by it doesn't mean you can say anything about it.
my bad. I forgot about that.
Damn.
So did you figure out the menu? Did you guys have any troubles getting this all together, or was it, just crisp, clean, and easy like everything is in your life?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I understand that I'm the problem with some of these things, and I'm very particular. So it wasn't smooth sailing getting to it. We may or may not have given each other the silent treatment in the car after I told her, don't nobody want no damn blueberries. Maybe or maybe not. Maybe or maybe not. So we eventually got there, but it was not a easy roll. I had to call some people in order to figure out exactly what we were going to get and what we should get and try to convince her. But we did settle on a menu. She may have, wanted to go to Costco to buy some of the stuff from the menu, and I might have said, baby, I love you, but we're not feeding the whole damn football team. We only feeding 9 people. We don't need to go to Costco. And so overall, we did get there, and we settled on the fact that, and she did a wonderful job shopping for it as well after we had our back and forth. But we got pancakes that we're going to have. We're going to have some sausage, round sausage patties. We're going to have bacon as well. The only area we had an big issue, is the fruit, Ben. What would you probably suggest for a holiday party for fruit? What would be probably 3 fruits you would suggest?
Three fruits?
Yeah, 3 fruits. If you want to have
Are
3 fruits.
they mixed together?
Mixed together, yeah. She wants to mix them together. I don't think you need to, but she wants to mix them together, and she's the queen of the castle, so she's able to make that decision.
All right, if I were to do 3 fruits mixed together, I forget the holiday. It's just about having like a good mixture. I would probably go with pineapple, watermelon, and grapes.
My man, that's exactly what I said. I said we should have pineapple, watermelon, and grapes, and
Seriously?
I got some pushback. Yeah, I got some pushback. So what I was told that we were going to have is we were going to have grapes, and then we were going to have, what was the other one? I don't even remember the other one. That's how, strawberries.
Strawberry would be like, I'd probably end up doing 4. I would throw strawberries in with the...
And then blueberries. And that's when it came. I said blueberries.
Blueberries.
I said blueberry. I said, listen, my people, we don't eat blueberries. We're not eating no blueberries on Christmas Day. I said we need to have pineapples. She said pineapples are out of season. You can't have pineapples. I said, well, dang. I said, well, how about watermelon?
Pineapples are never out of season.
No doubt.
I love pineapple.
That's what I thought, too.
I love pineapple. It's all about when you go to the grocery store, you need to identify which one is the most ripe. If it's hard as can be, you clearly don't get that. You try and get ones that have a little bit of softness to it so you know it's ready to go.
I've been to the Dole plantation down there where they actually get the pineapples, and I thought they were always in season. But you know me, I like to ask Google, and Google basically said they're always in season, but best between March and like July. So I guess they're technically out of season. And then I asked for watermelon. She said those for sure are out of season, so I can't get no watermelon as well. So I'm stuck with grapes and strawberries, and I said we're not doing blueberries. I don't even know what we're swapping it for, but the fruit was
whoa, you're on strawberries, grapes, and blueberries? That sounds like the saddest fruit mix of all time.
Now, you better watch yourself, Ben, because you ain't going to say nothing my girl suggests was the saddest mix. Only I can say
I wouldn't say sad. Ben, let me help you out here because I agree with you. Sad, not sad, not sad. A little payback for what you just said 5 seconds ago. But, look, it's not sad. It's just that it could have been spruced up a bit. It could have been a more merry mix.
It's not very... It's not very, I don't know. It's just like, all right, we got these small little blueberries. You got, like, it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't do the trick for me.
Know? Blackberries are where it's at.
I would darken the berry to sweeten the juice. I would have did blackberries.
I've been feeding my daughter strawberries and blueberries. Let me just say, she'll choose strawberries 10 times over blueberries if she had the choice. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the choice every day to just have strawberries. We'll work in, obviously, other fruits as she gets older. But, yeah, you gotta be the man of the house that you say you are and make sure that blueberries are not in this fruit mix, because everybody will be disappointed if there are blueberries in the 3 mixed fruit salad on Christmas morning. The other part of the menu.
Saturday, I needed you because I was a bad guy.
I was right by my phone.
I should have texted you because I was the bad guy for saying blueberries. Nobody want blueberries.
Yeah, and in reference to Kyle wearing his baby girl's sweater that is now theirs, and they say our sweater, JJ and Poinette, every time I think Kyle can't get any weirder, ... And then Adam and K-Walk chime in with really the take that is typically normal. My wife might wear one of my T-shirts or a coat once in a while because it's big and makes her comfortable. Adam, my girl, will get my hoodies. That way it's like very big. You went the opposite direction. You were wearing a snug sweater that I cannot believe you're wearing because it has to be uncomfortable. And then you got bullied into the worst possible fruit mix for your family's morning of Christmas breakfast.
Stick up for yourself, Kyle.
Wow. First and foremost,
I mean, he's right, but
I didn't get bullied into anything. This sweater was her sweater, my choice. That's exactly what it was when it came to the sweater. And then when it came to the breakfast food, let me tell you, I put my foot down when it came to them damn blueberries. We ain't having blueberries. Now, I don't know what the third fruit is because I detached myself after I put my foot down and said we're not having blueberries, but I know we ain't having no blueberries in my house come Wednesday, so I know that. So I put my foot down. I got the menu I want. We having croissants. We having bacon. We're having some eggs. We're getting some cheese. She did.
Well, no one's going to have an argument about those. The argument you lost is the fruit.
No, I didn't lose the fruit. I won the fruit. We're not having blueberries. I won. I'm telling you. I put my foot down, Ben. You should be proud of me. And then also,
but are you hitting pineapple?
Yeah, I didn't win the pineapple one.
I didn't win.
What battle did you win?
won the battle,
confused.
but you lost the war.
I won the battle of spending money. I got her to not go to Costco. That was the big battle. That was the expensive battle. That was the battle that I really wanted to win.
Couple of suggestions here for pears and bananas. Those do not feel like fruit salad, fruit mixes.
Pears, I got to deal with this at home enough with having pears over apples. I don't need to do this in my fruit salad. Pears, please.
Pears over apple?
Yeah, pears are good.
I love pears, but they're apple.
But they're standalone. Yeah. They're not fruit mixers.
That's an interesting mix. What is the best fruit mix? Ashton, you're a chef. What is your best?
I mean, my best fruit mix, I got to get the music back here for to introduce this up a bit. I mean, you got to go with the blackberry, number one. You get the tart, you get the sour, you get the little bit of crunch in that bite. You go for the same exact reason you're going with the pineapple, but now you get a little bit of that sweet tart. And it's going to burn your mouth. You got a little bit of cut in there too, but it's going to taste good. And then my last one is strawberry. You can't have a fruit salad without strawberries. It's just plain and simple.
Sorry, Ashton, I just couldn't listen to a word you were saying because I'm just looking at Kyle in his baby girl's sweater, and the more I look at it, I feel like the sweater that is his girlfriend's shrinks every second that I look at him. It just gets tighter and tighter.
I've been working out, so it probably is a little bit snug on you.
Loving Football chimes in. Sorry I'm late. I was raiding my wife's closet.
Hey, I hope your wife got as good a taste as my girl. Come on now. We were destined to be together. She has a Packer hoodie. She knows me. It's just wonderful. Also, I remember raspberries. That was it. That was the substitution for the blueberries. It was raspberries. Still not my pineapples, but a little bit better.
Yeah, kind of a weak salad. Weak fruit salad
from
Kyle Wallace.
First and foremost, you need to watch your mouth. What you're not finna do, you're not gonna sit here and say anything my baby girl do is weak. Okay, it's one thing for me to talk crazy. One thing for me to talk crazy to her. Oh,
baby girl, it's weak. Sometimes you got to hear it because Kyle doesn't have the gumption to say it to you.
Yeah, I cannot wait to read my text messages during the break and see if she goes in on you.
Well, I hope she does. 800-990-3776. Keep going in on Kyle for sharing a sweater with his girlfriend and wearing it on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. The Vikings lost to the Seahawks. But I want to know, and we're going to get to the New Orleans Saints, but are the damn Packers better than the damn Vikings? Are the Packers better than the Vikings? Simple question. 800-990-3776. They lost straight up in matchup 1. We've had a lot of season to go through. Are the Green Bay Packers better than the Minnesota Vikings? 800-990-3776. KBN Nation with a tight sweatered Kyler Wallace. Next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You throw hands?
Do I throw hands?
With T.O.
Will I? I throw hands with Andre the Giant, man.
I love you, Lou. That's Lewis from the north side. The north side always knows.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Romeo. This 3-syllable, you have to take the O out of the equation. That's too easy.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Iota, right? Not one iota.
Iota. Yeah, that's only 4 letters.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
Let's pretend you're a first-time listener to Wilde and Tausch. What the hell is this? They're discussing syllables.
On 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting their first ever tournament with $750 in cash prizes available. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellerson, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a 2-man scramble at Whistling Straits, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through December 31st. Your winter chance to play Whistling Straits awaits. WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Discount Liquor. Did you know that George Washington served his own homemade version of eggnog made with rum, rye whiskey, and sherry? Well, a lot's changed since the days of our first president, but one constant has been celebrating the holiday season and upcoming new year with family, friends, and loved ones. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. 'Tis the season to check out Discount Liquor's tremendous selection of over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,000 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines from around the world. And yes, we do carry 8 varieties of ready-to-drink eggnog. Celebrate this most festive time with a great selection of beautifully packaged liquor gift sets, sure to make you the hit of the party or as a perfect gift for the liquor connoisseur on your shopping list. Discount Liquor, 2 locations in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount Liquor.
See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Okay, Christmas and Hanukkah are Wednesday, which means that if you still have shopping to do, then it's time to get to Macy's now and find last-minute gifts that feel anything but last minute. Here's one we love. Fragrance gift sets from designers like Gucci, Givenchy, and more that are boxed and ready to give. No wrapping required. And don't forget, it's your last chance to use your Macy's money too. So when it's down to the last minute, your first stop should be Macy's, but you only have until tomorrow night. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At Cousin Subs, the bigger your smile, the better we feel. That's why our menu features something for everyone, like our Wisconsin cheese curds, golden fries, creamy shakes, and mac and cheese, all paired with your favorite sub, or our subs in a bowl. And don't forget our kids' meals, now with a free cookie. Here's to a better day. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
things in the first segment. I did end by saying the Vikings lost to the Seahawks. They did beat the Seahawks yesterday. Late comeback. Obviously, the Packers play the Saints. We'll get to them. The Packers are minus 14.5 point favorites. But with the evidence that we have up to this point, because I'm fairly confident, as is everyone listening. If you're not confident, let us know, 800-990-3776, because there's no way they lose tonight. Are the Packers a better team than the Minnesota Vikings? Have they showed you enough to tell you that they're better than the Vikings? We know that when they played them the first time around, Jordan Love was coming off of injury, but they did lose straight up. But we've had a lot of season, and I want to know if people believe the Packers are better than the Vikings. 800-990-3776. I also want people to continue to comment on the best 3 fruits that would make a fruit salad, because Kyle was owned in his relationship in terms of what belongs in the fruit salad for his Christmas morning breakfast.
Accusations.
Over to the KBN Sports Desk with Ashton Rotman.
Kyle, you told me that you have an update, and I want you to have the floor on this because I'm fascinated.
So I do have an update a little bit from baby girl who is listening, and this is more of an update on where's the pants in a relationship, who's the king of the castle. And so in response, as I said before, the other fruit, the third fruit that was chosen, she said raspberries, and she called me Prince of Persia. That shows you right there that she called me Prince of Persia with an eye roll, that I am indeed the man of the house. But here's the big part. See, Ben, I know in your household, and you too, Ashton, y'all ain't got enough gumption, or y'all ain't got enough credibility, or y'all ain't got enough control where your lady would text you, let me know if that's okay. Otherwise, I'll return them.
I don't believe her. I don't think she's actually going to return them if you said anything about it.
Is the
returning
Rotman
fruit seems weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing to do.
I would. Is the Rotman hyphenated other last name household? Is that household? Are you able to? If she gonna ask you to return some fruit? If it asks you if she can, would your household be doing that? Okay, no. Mister, I gotta pick up my.
But if you know what though, but if she did, my lovely fiance wanted me to return fruit, I would.
Okay, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly. Now, Mister, my girl is making me wear socks and making me do all this other stuff around the house and pick up my own nails and stuff like that.
There's a virus going around the house. Of course, I should be wearing socks.
Would she ask you if she should return the fruit or not? I think not. So y'all better learn. I run the household. It's 2 of us together.
Well, we wouldn't have gotten to a point where she needed to return the fruit because we would have had better fruit salad than you guys have for Christmas Day, and that is the end of the story.
That could be right.
Kyle, are the Green Bay Packers better than the Minnesota Vikings? What say the Packer backer in his girlfriend's sweater?
I mean, overall, we do know that the Green Bay Packers did lose earlier this year to the Minnesota Vikings, but at this point during the season, the Green Bay Packers are a better football team than the Minnesota Vikings. And the reason is not just because I'm a Packer backer and I support the Green Bay Packers. It's based off of what we've heard from other people.
That's how you lose all credibility. You should have left that out.
It's not because of that. That's what I said. Don't take my word. I know
you're saying it's not because of that, but you're bringing it up that, like, hey, I support them no matter what. But that's not the reason why.
No, it's not the reason why. The reason why is because when you have other players across the NFL and on other football teams talking about how good the Green Bay Packers are. And so when you have people like Jahmyr Gibbs or Amon-Ra St. Brown, when they're asked who would they prefer to play or who they would not want to play, and both of the guys on one of the best football teams in the NFL give the same answer that they do not want to play the Green Bay Packers, it speaks volumes to how good this football team is. Remember, this is the youngest football team in the NFL, and teams do not want to play them in the playoffs. Vice versa, the Minnesota Vikings, who I believe are 13-2 on the season so far this year, teams ain't running away or scared to play the Vikings. And the last one I'll have is yesterday I did get a chance to watch some of that Vikings versus Seahawks game. That was a close football game. They battled it out. The thing I saw the previous week, the Green Bay Packers beat the hell out of the Seattle Seahawks. And again, you can't compare game to game, but what I can compare is the fact.
But you're going to do it anyway.
But what I can compare is how each team performed. The way our defense performed against the Seahawks last week, Minnesota Vikings will have a great defense. I would say our defense performed better against the Seahawks this past week. The way our offense performed against the defense of the Seahawks, I would say our offense performed better. Our running game was able to do whatever they wanted early in that game. We were able to dominate the Seattle Seahawks inside of the box. So overall, when I look at it, yes, the Vikings have a better record than the Green Bay Packers, but no, they are not a better team than the Green Bay Packers. And the Packers will prove that next week when they go on the road and ruin New Year's Day for the Minnesota Vikings.
And on YouTube, we have a comment right away. No, they're not better than the Vikings. Hopefully next week they can prove me wrong. And again, I understand what you're saying, Kyle. I wasn't overly impressed with what I saw against the Seahawks from the Vikings, but ultimately as well, Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson are playing really good football, and they've gotten better throughout the season as a dual combo. Justin Jefferson obviously is one of the best receivers in the NFL, but to pair it up with someone on the other side, that's something we've been waiting for the Green Bay Packers to be like, all right, we got two guys that are consistently showing up in the passing game. Now, injuries and whatnot, and the way they've gone about the season of like who's been popping, who's been not, like, can't have Jaden Reed continue to be silent. I know they made an effort to get him the ball more after he had 8 touches in 4 games. But it's just like it's an interesting spot. Like, I can't wait for next week. Obviously, they have to take care of business. But at the end of the day, the Vikings have just played better. They just they have to this point. They basically played the same schedule as the Green Bay Packers. The Packers and the Vikings both lost to the Lions by a field goal. But I don't know. It's hard for me right now because I do believe the Packers are ascending at the right time. But every time I've said that throughout the season, they go play a quality opponent. It's like, all right, here we go. Time for the Lions, time for the Vikings. Then boom, they lose those games. So we can all be proven right because I think we all have a gut feeling that the Packers are better than the Vikings. But I want the Packers to destroy the New Orleans Saints, to continue to show their dominance against teams that are suckier than them. And that's not a bad thing to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. But then to parlay that, and I feel like I've used that word parlay the momentum into that game. Defensively, we were talking about this team after the Miami game, the 49ers game, and there was a cold element for Tua, and there was a Brandon Allen for the 49ers, and the defense was coming around, and then you play the Lions, right? Defense got sacks on Geno. Can they likely do something against a bad Saints team tonight? Yes. Can they do that again in a bigger game? And so until I see that big game win from the Green Bay Packers, I can't put the Vikings ahead of the Packers. You just can't.
Here we go. See, here's the thing. You can do all the talking that you want to do, and I can do all the talking I want to do. But as I said before, it's not about just my opinion, because my opinion is based off facts of what I saw. And I understand that the Minnesota Vikings overall as a whole have played a better football season than the Green Bay Packers. Just because you play a better game does not mean that you have overall a better football team. That's what I do not believe, is that the Vikings have a better football team, or they're more feared than the Packers, and guys like Jahmyr Gibbs back me up.
All right, Ashton, he's gone to this twice. Did you have the audio ready? I wasn't planning on playing it, but Kyle needs it for his argument.
I was going to play it for him there, but the computer froze. But here we go.
Be real with me here. Which one of those teams, if you had to pick one of those, makes you sweat the most?
Sweat, probably the Packers.
Ooh.
Packers are good. They're really good.
That was from USA Today Sports when interviewing Jahmyr Gibbs, talking about who he is most scared of right now, and he chose the Green Bay Packers.
And don't you remember a couple weeks ago where Amon-Ra St. Brown also chose who, Ben?
Again, both didn't snap answer.
It don't matter.
Both did not snap answer.
It doesn't matter. The Eagles, they're a football team that beat the Green Bay Packers, ahead of the Green Bay Packers in standing. They didn't come up. The Minnesota Vikings, again, another team that's ahead of the Green Bay Packers in the standings, beat the Green Bay Packers, and a team that the Lions had to come back and beat. And then you look at the Green Bay Packers, a team that the Lions handled the first time, and then they had a toe-to-toe good matchup the second time in Detroit, and he's selecting the Green Bay Packers. That just shows that NFL players, they understand that this Packers football team is dangerous. They understand when they play against them.
No one's saying they're not dangerous.
They could be on the losing end of the final result. They fear the Green Bay Packers because they know how high powered and how high octane the offense can be, and they understand that the defense can eventually force some type of turnovers that can turn the game around. There's
a lot of cans there. Can be, can do this, right? Like,
that's what it is. Call me the can man, baby.
Yeah. Look. I think what you're hearing from the players is respect, right? And the Packers deserve that respect based off what they did last year late in the season and based off what they've done I mean, they're 10-4. You can't say they're a bad football team. But ultimately, I think as fans as well, some fans are saying, look, I want to beat the Vikings. Even Brian Balaga is talking about it with us, and I'm sure we'll get to it. Actually, we won't, because we have Green Bay Game Day pregame show starting at 4. But as it pertains to them showing, instead of hearing from other people, it is showing the belief to everyone, even themselves, that they can win one of these games. And I know they believe it, but there's still a portion of, if you consistently throughout a season lose to these teams, if they lose to the Vikings, you don't think it's going to be in the back of their mind that, like, maybe we're not as good as we should be, or we're missing something. There's just a little bit that creeps in your head when you lose to the top teams all the time.
I think if they lose to the Minnesota Vikings next week, the thing that creeps into their minds and also fans' minds is the fact that we may not be ready, right? And so now you go from saying we are a championship contender to saying, hey, what do we have to lose? And I don't know, which football team do you prefer to have? Do you prefer to have a football team that says, what do we have to lose? Or do you prefer a football team that's playing with the pressure of believing they actually have a chance to win the Super Bowl? We saw when the Green Bay Packers had nothing to lose. They played with house money last year in the playoffs. They were able to blow out the Cowboys, and they were able to take the 49ers to the brink of elimination. And so we'll find out what they do next week against the Minnesota Vikings, but we have to take care of business this week before we can determine what this football team truly is going into the playoffs in a couple weeks.
Well, typically at this time, we would go to Alex Strofe, our producer for Becoming Relevant. We have labeled this segment with Ashton Rotman coming up next as This Segment Sucks with Ashton Rotman. Don't go anywhere. That's a tease.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Craig Counsell bobblehead that was given away, and we, just did a nice, soliloquy? Is that the right word?
Yeah, like a montage.
Like a Virgil.
Vigil?
Vigil.
A vigil. We did a vigil.
Vigil.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at PaysBig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey, this is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. Guys, let's talk about something important. You. Taking care of your health and appearance isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling strong, confident, and ready to take on the world. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, they make it easy. With experts in advanced skincare, body contouring, and anti-aging treatments, Quintessa is here to help you stay sharp and at your best. Trust me, when you look good, you feel even better. So why wait? Visit myquintessa.com and take the first step towards a more confident you.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
A win tonight under the lights against the New Orleans Saints at Lambeau Field against the Packers, a second straight playoff berth with quarterback Jordan Love. But as head coach Matt LaFleur knows and will always say, there is still work to be done in practice during the regular season.
The emphasis is the red area. So, we'll take a look at the tape. If there's things that we don't like, we'll make that necessary adjustment. There's always some tweaks in there.
Kickoff from Lambeau Field between the Packers and Saints is at 7:15 tonight.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
Think owning a home is just a dream? No dream at Tri-City is too extreme. Talk to us and we'll show you how that dream you're dreaming can be reality now. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
Life's busy, and Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're grabbing fresh coffee, a bakery treat, or a quick meal, Quick Trip is your go-to for quality and fast service. From clean restrooms to fresh groceries, easy meal options, and guaranteed fuel, we make your day easier. Plus, enjoy perks like free ATMs, free air for your tires, and sweet rewards with the Quick Rewards program. Everything you need in one stop, and always a friendly, see you next time, Quick Trip, where your day gets easier and better.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust. Get your Golden Eagles essentials by opening Marquette checking from Wintrust today.
A classic Big East battle in Cincinnati over the weekend for Marquette as they take down Xavier, but it wasn't without a few clutch buckets late, including this from David Joplin.
Now against Foster. Cam Jones. Joplin faked the three. Joplin on a drive against Foster. Spins, turns, shoots, scores! David Joplin gives Marquette a 3-point lead. You know what?
We got to get it together here.
Whoever Foster's guarding, they want to go to the basket. Timeout, Xavier.
Joplin and Cam Jones combining for 39 points in a 72-70 Marquette win over Xavier. They're now 11-2 on the season, and will now have a break for the holidays before they take on Providence in Rhode Island on New Year's Eve.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, and the official bank of Marquette University.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, no Brad Nortman, Ashton Rotman in for Alex Strofe.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can't. What every segment you got an outfit change, Ben? What the hell's going on?
Oh, man.
You already caught on to it? I thought you were too dumb to realize.
What do you mean too dumb to realize? I thought you were hot before. What was I? Y'all thought I wasn't going to realize this? It's weird.
Well,
You're pretty self-absorbed.
No, I'm not self-absorbed. I'm very.
I kind of want to go inside baseball now for this.
I'm aware of things around me.
Ben and I were trying to find something fun to do today on the show, and he's like, I got all these jerseys. I'm like, you know what you should do is you should change every single segment until someone catches on. And then it didn't seem like you caught on at all the first two. We're like, oh, there's no way.
I wore my Lithuanian basketball jersey last segment.
I thought
the Milk Stars.
I thought that was a T-shirt. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was what you had on underneath your robe. So I had no idea. I mean, what would be cool if you actually had like holiday sweaters or something that was relevant, not just random stuff. Like a robe.
Oh, I'm in my basement, so I got a lot of random stuff down here. What do you want from me? All right, let's go to the worst segment in radio history. This segment sucks with Ashton Rotman.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant. It's time to become relevant. Strofe's time to shine on KBN starts now.
I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty bummed that it ended after 3 segments.
Yeah.
Well, I got more outfits to change into, don't worry.
Do it for KBN Nation on the stream.
On YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison, you can see me change outfits, and you can see Kyle wearing a sweater that his girlfriend wears that he wore today. It's still very interesting.
Our sweater.
Makes it weirder. Anyway, speaking of things that have changed, that tease. Gosh, I'm so good at this. The Bucks made a change inside Fiserv Forum. They raised a banner for winning the Emirates NBA Cup championship. It did have the internet a bit of a blaze before they saw the rest of the banners looking the exact same. They raised a banner, though. Brad obviously is not a fan of this. He's not here to defend himself, but it looks lame, but I think it's kind of cool. Like, who cares? I'm fine with them raising the banner.
Like I said, I am fine with the banner, but it just, for some reason, it looked like a white top bed sheet, and like it could just use a little pizzazz to it. I don't know. It looks a little odd.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the other one that they have when they have listed whatever championships they have, I believe. But overall, for me, bravo, because this is setting the tone and the standard that this will not be the only one. There's a lot of space for years of 2025 and 2026 and 2027 and 2035. And so all this is the first of many to come. I'm glad the Bucks did a ceremony. I had no idea they were going to be doing a ceremony. Shout out to Bobby Portis. But I'm glad the Bucks are basically showing everybody that we won the NBA Cup, and this is the first of many.
You know when they have different banners, sometimes they put the logo of the trophy, maybe a logo of the team. I don't know. It just maybe they redo the banners that they have and spice up Fiserv Forum a little bit.
Yeah, they could make it look a little cooler than what it is, but hey, I'm just happy we got the trophy.
Moving on, speaking of other things that, don't really have trophies anymore, Aaron Rodgers I finished Enigma. It took me over the weekend to finally finish it. I know we talked a bunch about it last week, but I didn't come away disliking Aaron Rodgers. I feel like I want to dislike him, but I don't. I don't know. Kyle, did you actually ever get a chance to watch it?
Yeah, I did, and I just have to say, Ben and Brad and Strofe, all overblown, exaggerated. You guys let your disdain for Aaron Rodgers get to you when you're watching this.
I don't have disdain. I'm with Ashton. I enjoyed the documentary. I like how different Aaron is.
Yeah, man. He had me thinking about doing ayahuasca and going to Costa Rica and trying to find my inner self.
Show trip? Put it on Craig's time?
I'm serious. Yeah, we should. Like, he feel like he
You want to become a butterfly?
I want to become something.
Like a bee, baby.
No, man. But seeing other NFL players like Jordan Poyer say, yeah, man, I wanted to do this. He brought his mom, his brother. Like, it feels like he's one with himself. Now, he may still be, a liar for certain things and may also be a failure for not winning multiple Super Bowls. But overall, I mean, it was cool.
Wait, are you calling Aaron Rodgers' tenure with the Packers a failure?
It wasn't a success. Would you say it was a success?
Oh.
Are you kidding me right now?
So wait, you think winning one Super Bowl with winning 4 MVPs and having multiple seasons of being
so
the
Brett
number one
Favre
seed,
was a failure too?
Yeah, I mean Brett Favre, he came in and he should have probably won more, but Brett Favre wasn't as good as Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers' teams consistently were really, really good. Brett Favre had a couple down seasons.
He went to back-to-back Super Bowls.
He did, and he lost.
Right.
At least he went to 2.
But
Aaron Rodgers went to 1.
By your standards, though, wouldn't that be failure?
Because he righted the ship, right? He took a franchise that was dormant, wasn't that good, and he put them to a whole nother level. And then Aaron Rodgers literally took over a team after they lost in the NFC Championship game, and he was only able to get to 1 Super Bowl and win 1 Super Bowl. He would say that if Aaron Rodgers retires tomorrow,
over the last 30 years, Kyle, I don't have the list. It's a short list of teams that have won 2 Super Bowls.
Cool. A short list of teams that had 2 back-to-back quarterbacks that are going to be Hall of Famers, too. The 49ers, I believe,
but we also
more than 2.
know that it's not the only position on the field.
So you're saying that you look back at Aaron Rodgers' tenure for not individual, not the MVPs. We're talking about his tenure as a quarterback of the Green Bay Packers.
It was a success. Could it have been better? Yes, but to not call it a success is absolute blasphemy.
It was really good, but it wasn't a success because a success means he has multiple titles. Now he's doing Enigma and he's going to do ayahuasca in Costa Rica.
Poor Jordan Love. If he doesn't win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years, you're going to have an aneurysm.
Well, Jordan Love wasn't handed as good of a football team. He has the youngest team in the NFL, where the other team that was handed to Aaron Rodgers was a more veteran-laden football team.
I'm pretty sure in Enigma, Mike McCarthy was talking about how they're a pretty young team.
I don't know how young. He did say that, but I don't know how young that football team was because that was literally the year after that they went to the Super Bowl. It was a year after they went to the Super Bowl. They still had Jordy Nelson. They still had Greg Jennings on the field. They still had Donald Driver on that football team.
They went 15-1 after they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking. Excuse me. After they went to the NFC Championship game, that 6-10 football team, they still had a lot of great veterans on the team that were
Jordy
established.
was not on that team. I don't.
Jordy
think.
wasn't on the 2008.
08? No.
Oh, okay. Well, they had Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings was on the football team. Donald Driver was on that football team.
Everyone else was young though.
The offense, they still had a good offensive line for that football team, from what I recall as well. It wasn't a super young football team.
Ashton, I love when he does that. Ashton, how was the 08-09 Packers offensive line? Were they young or old?
By Pro Football Focus, it's probably really, really good. Who cares, Kyle?
What do you mean, who cares? That's an important position.
We're putting it down, and we're going to cut this, and I'm going to edit it exactly to make you look great. You think Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, and Brett Favre are all failures. That's what I heard. Ben heard that.
No,
KBN Nation heard that.
I said overall he failed. Yeah, that offensive line was stacked.
We're not doing that. We were making fun of you. We're not doing offensive line talk.
Aaron Campbell, Ryan Pickett, Johnny Jolly.
All right, shut his mic off.
Kyle, you're supposed to be my guy.
Al Harris, come on now. Mike McCarthy lied. I'm telling you this right now. He lied to you.
Mike McCarthy lied in the documentary.
He did lie in the document. The team had Al Harris. The team had, I'm just looking at the roster right now, had Al Harris.
You are? I would have never known.
I mean, no, look at all these guys. I'm telling you, they were young, but they weren't like babies. You had veterans on this football team. Nick Barnett was still in the football team at that time. Stop playing with me. I don't care what Mike McCarthy said. His memory's bad.
KBN Nation, 800-990-3776. Kyle is on something different. I don't know if it's the sweater, but he's calling Rodgers' tenure with the Packers a failure, and you can't be a Packer backer and have that take.
I brought the whole
script.
thing up so that you and Kyle, so you could talk about how much you liked it and how you didn't understand.
I like him. I like Aaron Rodgers. It's just we can't sit here and say his tenure was a success if we only got one Super Bowl appearance, fellas. Oh, it was a lot of disappointment, was it not?
If Jordan Love only wins one Super Bowl, is he a failure?
Based off the way this team is looking, absolutely. Absolutely. If he got the one Super Bowl, that's it, that would be a failure for his tenure. It would be. Because based off what they are rebuilding and based off the roster that they have, they're building a pretty dang good roster, a very young roster, and they're finding success early on. He went to the playoffs year one.
You really do forget there's 31 other teams in the NFL.
Yeah, and I'm not concerned about them. I'm concerned about beating them. That's it.
All right, I have one more if you guys want to get to it. Otherwise, we can move on. But I'll let you decide.
I'm good with it. What do you have?
Who does the grocery shopping in your household? The grocery shopping. Who does the grocery shopping?
Ben, you want to answer because you got a daughter.
So I typically do 60 to 70% of it because I am like 110 times more efficient than my fiance.
No doubt.
I'll be gone, in, out, boom, bang, bop. She'll bop around, try some samples, get lost in an aisle, and I'll be like, where are you? So I do the majority.
She does most of the shopping. She does most of the grocery shopping. I go grocery shopping. I usually buy specific things that are in my head. When she goes grocery shopping, she buys things that we can use for more than like a week. So I go for getting through the week. She goes for getting through a couple weeks.
So I do the grocery shopping mostly in my house. Every once in a while, my fiance will come with me. And I'll just, I have a list off top of the dome. She's at the grocery store right now. And here's a text I just got from her. I got overwhelmed and ended up with just a salad bag and tortellini. I don't know what she went in there to buy. I don't know what happened. All I know is she got overwhelmed and came away with what seems to be a nice dinner for us tonight. But I'm very confused at what happened. And how do you get overwhelmed at a grocery store?
Ashton,
I love her,
yesterday I can relate. I was overwhelmed, so I just didn't go in.
What?
The parking lot was busy. Christmas, this. Look, I'm just telling you what happened. Just telling you. Don't kill the messenger.
So what you're telling me is that you literally went there and you came home empty-handed?
Did you go to a different
I didn't
grocery
go.
store?
She went.
Oh, she went. I thought you said you went to the grocery store.
I don't care what the elements are. I'll get in, get what I need, get out. Boom, bang.
Oh, that's what happened to her yesterday.
I heard it the same way you heard it, Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's the basement blues I have at my own home right now. 800-990-3776.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
James the postman chimes in. This is one of those things where it has me wondering, okay, is Kyle just being a showman or does he actually believe what he's saying? Because he is so ridiculous. It's a little bit of a downer. He did not get to more than one, but it was absolutely not a failure from Aaron Rodgers during his Green Bay Packers tenure. Many echoing the same thoughts. Kyle Wallace equals Packer privilege overreaction. Keep coming at Kyle. He's wearing his girlfriend's sweater. He's mad about the fruit mixture on Christmas morning with the families coming to his house. He's in a bad place, and let's make it worse. 800-990-3776. You have 8 days with the best rates of the year in December with the Princeton Club. Get locked in for 2025 right now in 24 with the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations, 1 in New Berlin. Free childcare with their membership. They're open 24/7. They have something for everyone. So if you're looking to get your fitness journey where you need to be, get started now. There's no reason to wait for a lot of reasons. But the biggest reason is they have the lowest rates of the year at the Princeton Club. Right now, lowest rates of the year. Lock it in for 2025. The Princeton Club. Join for a better tomorrow. Kyle Wallace takes Packer backer to the next level in order to face me in the ESPN Milwaukee Kyle Brust and Nortman Fantasy Championship. He needs 2 Green Bay Packers to take him to the championship game. Will these Packers deliver? We need your opinions. Next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
So they are lucky. Those other teams, whether it's Kentucky or whether it's Oregon or was it TCU?
That was TCU.
TCU, they're lucky I didn't play in that game. You got upset by a bad team. TCU.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Winter is here. Don't let your car care take a back seat. Protect your car against rust, salt, and grime this season at Tsunami Express Car Wash. Tsunami Express makes cleanup a breeze with their state-of-the-art wash technology, powerful free vacuums, and convenient unlimited wash memberships. Try their new best-in-class T2 with graphene wash for the ultimate long-lasting shine and protection. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at TsunamiExpress.com.
On the actual day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a 12-pack of Lakefront, 11 Jims of Beaming, 10 Royals Crowning, 9 Johnny's Walking, 8 Wines of Sparkling, 7 Miller's Lighting, 6 Geese of Graying, 5 Chardonnays, 4 Spotted Cows, 3 Cabernets, 2 gift cards from just one trip to Discount Liquor.
Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. 'Tis the season to check out Discount Liquor's tremendous selection of over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,000 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines from around the world. And yes, we do carry 8 varieties of ready-to-drink eggnog. Celebrate this most festive time with a great selection of beautifully packaged liquor gift sets, sure to make you the hit of the party or as a perfect gift for the liquor connoisseur on your shopping list. Discount Liquor, 2 locations in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount Liquor.
See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Are you having the holiday horrors trying to figure out the perfect gift for everyone on your list? It's terrifying. But guess what? I have the perfect gift you can give everyone. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. That's right. They're the perfect gift for a mother, for a father, grandma, grandpa, for the kids, for a friend, for a coworker, for everybody. Because with Skechers slip-ins, they'll never have to touch their shoes again. Just step into them and they're on. With no bending down, no retying the laces, and you are good to go. Find Skechers slip-ins for the holidays at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
The Harlem Globetrotters 2025 World Tour is here, bringing all the cool tricks and laughs fans love. We're coming to the Fiserv Forum on December 31st. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com for tickets to the 2025 World Tour, presented by Jersey Mike Subs.
With your Saganiac Planning Marquette recap, I'm Ashton Rotman. After taking a huge lead on Saturday in Cincinnati, Marquette had to claw their way back from a deficit against Xavier. Cam Jones to the rescue, of course.
Cam Jones on a drive against Hunter. Cam Jones still to the basket. Shoots and scores. That one went in. Marquette up a point.
And they would not let go of that lead for the rest of the game. Marquette wins 72-70 over Xavier, moving their record to 11-2 on the season before they take a break now for the holidays. Next up for them, a trip to Providence to take on the Friars on New Year's Eve.
For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Llewellyn, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, named synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh, if Kyle could be so lucky after getting knocked out of the big money league that he was in, losing to Ben Brust and Greg Scalzo. He's in the Kyle, Brust, and Nortman ESPN Milwaukee. Lash out, lash out, lash out, lash out, lash out. Salty, salty, salty.
I am salty, very salty.
Guaranteed $500 a person is why you're salty. Made it to the championship. But with our great fans of KBN, you are in the semifinals, and you need 2 Packers to will you to victory. You essentially need 45 points from Jordan Love and Tucker Kraft. Are you sitting here hopeless, or are you now prognosticating the Saints game to be 2 Tucker Kraft touchdowns from Jordan Love?
Yeah, I am. I know it's a tough hill that we have to climb today, but I sat Jared Goff because I believed in Love, and I think Love is up for the challenge against this defensive backfield.
No.
Yeah. Why you say, oh, no?
Because Goff had a massive game.
Yeah, he did. He had a great game, but and he was going against the Bears. But I believed in Jordan Love, and I believed that Jordan Love was going to have a big game tonight against the New Orleans Saints. I know they have a poor run
defense. Does your Packer backer mind get in the way of everything you do?
No, I don't think so. I really felt like this was going to be a big day for Jordan, so I put Jordan in there. I really felt confident in that. That's what it came down to. I felt confident in Jordan Love.
You're going against Brandon McManus. He's the only person your opponent has left.
Yeah, which sucks.
Are you hoping that he misses a couple extra points?
No, I mean, it is what it is. If I lose, I lose. I want my Packers to win. That's the most important thing. But I'm hoping that Jordan Love scores a lot of points and Tucker Kraft gets some touchdowns and we have a big, big day. That's what I'm hoping. It's a big day. No, we just want extra points. No actual field goals, just extra points.
Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, Ashton Rotman, no Strophe or Brad Nortman hanging with you till 4 o'clock leading into the Green Bay Game Day pregame show. I would like to revisit the fact that Kyle is wearing his girlfriend's sweater right now, and it gets tighter and tighter on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison every time I look at him.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. I really don't. I think it's really great when you can share.
Are you
good?
Are you good? Why? Why are you getting all defensive?
No, because you brought it up as if it was a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. I think when somebody has something great and you can kind of squeeze yourself into it, maybe I stretch it out just a smidge, just a little bit. But when somebody has something great in a closet, there's nothing wrong with sharing it. If your fiance had something great that you could fit that was Wisconsin branded or was when you once were a Bears fan,
well, she's 5'3". There's not going to be anything in our closets that I can fit into.
Maybe she has an oversized hoodie. My girl is 5'8".
No,
so
she takes all of my oversized hoodies. That's typically how this goes.
No, I mean I understand how it typically goes. This really makes me feel like my baby girl is not a she you know. She,
I would stop talking if I were you, I feel like.
What are you saying
I feel like
right
you were
now?
doing great until you kept going.
I just don't want people thinking like, oh, they're the same size. We're not. I just fit into her
No
clothes.
one was thinking that until you started talking into the universe.
I mean, you were talking about my fiance's 5'3". My girl's tall.
Yeah, that's me. Me too. Yeah, same. Now we're back, Kyle.
5'8". But anyways, I love being able to look in her closet. There's another little jacket that she has. It was her dad's jacket, then became her Green Bay Packers jacket. I've worn that before.
Did you go through her closet for clothes?
No, when Packer-specific stuff, I'm a fan of. I like wearing Packer stuff. And so if I ain't got to spend an extra dime to wear some Packer stuff.
Do you try her leggings on for fun?
Okay, all right. Now you're trying to say about putting on pantyhose. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not trying on pantyhose and leggings or anything else for my girl. I'm just talking about specifically Packer stuff. Any Packer jacket or Packer hoodie or Packer sweater that I may be able to fit, I will try to put on, like this one. Touchdown Packers.
All right, be honest with us for a second, Kyle. It's trust circle time. No one's listening, just the three of us.
I've never put her draws on.
That was not what I was going to ask. Ben was definitely going to ask.
Got the draws.
How many other items do you think you've tried on, if not worn in public? From her area of the closet.
I've only wore 3 things of hers before in public.
Well,
she doesn't have much
in public, huh? So not in public.
In public, yeah. In the house, that's whatever we do in our house is what we do in our house.
Hey, no further questions, Your Honor. I have no more follow-ups for you. Geez, Kyle, you're one of a kind.
No, I'm not one of a kind. it's a legit sweater. If your girl had this sweater and you could fit it, would you not wear it?
No.
Come on.
No, because it doesn't fit you. Ashton, does it fit him?
It does fit him.
Yeah, it's
well, I don't know, but it fits you.
I think I look good in
slender. Like a glove. It fits him like a glove.
No OJ. I think I look good and slender. Personally, I do.
No OJ.
I think it looks real good and slender. Matter of fact, when I walked in this morning, some of our great teammates were at the Tundra Tree today. They saw me and said, "Ooh, nice sweater, Kyle." I said, I know, ladies.
I have had 2 unnamed teammates walk in here and ask what you're doing with your life. So,
oh wow,
They're worried about you.
Unnamed.
I mean, if I didn't disclose this is my girl's sweater, y'all be telling me how amazing the sweater is.
I don't know if that's accurate.
I don't know if that's accurate either. Hey, Ashton, I have a question to ask you because we will not be on the air Friday, and I'm done the rest of the week. So can I give away a Screamin' Sicilian Pizza prize pack?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm not going to say no.
800-990-3776. Caller 8 to win a Screamin' Sicilian prize pack. I got a question for you, Kyle. Guess what I did on Friday?
What did you do on Friday?
Frozen Pizza Friday, of course. It was a thin and crispy tavern style and a 2.5 feet of stuffed crust cheese, pepperoni. I mean, these Screamin' Sicilians are amazing. And when you get your prize pack, make sure you get those coupons, maybe a pizza cutter. You never know what's going to be in the prize pack, but utilize it for Frozen Pizza Friday because Friday comes, you don't want to cook, you don't want to clean. It's become a tradition in the household. Frozen Pizza Fridays, make it a part of your life with Palermo's. 800-990-3776. Caller 8 to win a Screamin' Sicilian pizza prize pack. We're back in 2 minutes. The Green Bay Packers take on the New Orleans Saints. We dive into the matchup tonight, leading you into the Green Bay Game Day pregame show across these very stations. Don't go anywhere. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman in 2 minutes.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Experience elite orthopedic care at OAW. Their skilled teams in Pewaukee, Brookfield, and Mukwonago offer tailored treatment for your needs.
A pair of games over the weekend for the Bucks as they return to regular season play following their trip to Vegas and return as NBA Cup champions. It started with a loss on Friday night in Cleveland, 124-101, but Bobby Portis lit it up in the Fiserv Forum on Saturday against the Wizards.
Pass out, Green to Portis, right wing three. You betcha! Bobby Portis has hit 3 threes in a row and 6 of them in the game. 34 tonight for Bobby.
34 points for Portis and a 112-101 win for the Bucks, who take on the Bulls in Chicago tonight at 7 o'clock.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Book your appointment today at orthowisconsin.com.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The Wisconsin On Demand app and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
I hate to do this, but I got to steal a page out of Alex Strouf's book. Alex Strouf, our normal producer, you can hear him on Mr. Irrelevant Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. You're going to hear him at 4 o'clock on the Green Bay Game Day pregame show. He said there was a 0% chance that the Green Bay Packers would lose to the Chicago Bears. That 0% was true based off Carl Brooks' middle finger. There is a 0% chance that the New Orleans Saints beat the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. If there's anybody that thinks there's a 1% chance or higher, please let me know. 800-990-3776. Spencer freaking Rattler is their quarterback. Alvin Kamara is out. Chris Olave's been out. Taysom Hill, done. Their defense stinks. The Packers equal good. 14.5-point favorites, 0% chance they lose. Tell me why I'm wrong?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. This is one of the things I hate saying 0% chance, but this should be 0% chance. This would be a disappointing loss if the Green Bay Packers go out there and they don't dominate today, right? Like the Green Bay Packers have something to prove. They're trying to get themselves ready for playoff matchups coming up in a couple weeks. This is just a bump in the road for the Green Bay Packers that they need to make sure they get over, but they get over going fast. Because for me overall, I said there's not much the Green Bay Packers can prove against the New Orleans Saints, but something they can internally figure out is whether or not how good of a football team they are, right? Like, are you a championship football team? Because you know what championship football teams do? They take care of business. So they will figure out whether or not, when there's nothing really to play for against the team, when the team's not that good, it's going to be cold outside, can you smack this team? And so this is what we're going to find out from this team, is whether or not they can get themselves up for any and every football game each and every week, regardless of who the opponent is, whether they're a great football team like the Detroit Lions or whether they're a floundering football team that's hurt and injured like the New Orleans Saints. So overall, the Packers have no business losing this football game. So I'm right there with you, Ben. It should be a 0% chance that the Packers lose tonight.
Well, in Super Bowl teams at this point in the season, the way the New Orleans Saints season has transpired and the way the Packers have been playing, they can't. Like, and I'm saying from a non-0% chance that they lose thing, they literally just can't, for their confidence for the next step of playing the Vikings. Like, it just adds way too much to my life if I'm thinking, like, how am I feeling this good about the Packers, knowing that, like, I know they're a good team, knowing they haven't beat the top of the top, and this is probably the biggest spread they've had all season at minus 14.5. They're favored by more than 2 touchdowns. I'd feel comfortable laying the points. I'm dead serious. This is a team that, coming into Lambeau, they play in a dome. They have way less talent than the Vikings. They have way less talent even with a Brandon Allen-led 49ers team. Monday Night Football, a chance to clinch your official berth into the playoffs. Playing the Vikings next week, in which you know is important for a lot of reasons. And if it's just for your confidence heading into the playoffs, I'm okay with that. But, like, it's just they literally can't. There's a 0% chance. Otherwise, I don't want to say the season's done, but you lose a lot of confidence heading into the playoffs if you lose to this team tonight. There's a 0% chance.
And so for you, do you lose some confidence? Yes, but I'm not going to say you lose a lot of confidence and you're not going to win a Super Bowl or you're not going to be a competitive team in the playoffs if you lose.
Oh, come on, Kyle. They can't lose to the Saints and actually win the Super Bowl.
They can lose to the Saints, and they absolutely can, right? They can regain their confidence. We heard it before with Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown telling you how dangerous this football team is. Now, that would just show that they lack the consistency that you need, but there definitely is a shot where they can be a sleeper to go on to win the Super Bowl. Now, last year the Packers were not going to win the Super Bowl, but they lost a bad game against the Giants. They almost lost to the Carolina Panthers as well. Now, I expect them to be a step better than what they were last year, but overall, when I look at this football team in this game tonight against the New Orleans Saints, I expect the Green Bay Packers to step up and play well. But regardless of the results, it's not about what happens today. It's all about how they get ready for next week. I have an answer.
At this point in the season, last year compared to where we are this year, who do you think was playing better football? The 2023 Packers or the 24 Packers? Who was playing better football at this point in the season last year?
I think it's this year's football team, because last year's football team, when you look at it, they were just trying to figure themselves out. They were trying their best to find out how to be a team, how to be a unit, how to win football games. Where this year, this football team has found their identity, right? They know who they are, they know what the expectations are, and they have delivered week in and week out. We've talked about it over the last couple of weeks. So the only games that the Green Bay Packers have lost have come to really good football teams, come to 3 of the top football teams in the NFC. With those being your only losses, this team truly knows who they are. They're a very, very good football team that still needs to turn the page and turn the corner on beating high-quality football teams versus beating okay to average to good football teams. So overall, this team is playing better now, especially based off the results that they had against the Seahawks the previous week. And they went toe-to-toe with those Lions, too.
Yeah, I raised this question because I just remember this would have been the week before the Vikings. I think they played the Vikings on New Year's Eve, so it's almost like a replica of last year in a little bit. Was this the Carolina Panthers week last year?
I believe it was the Carolina Panthers week because it went Panthers, and then it went Vikings, and then it went into the season against the Bears. So, yes, this is the Panthers week.
So it's interesting because in a different way, the Panthers were ass at this point last year, and Bryce Young was really, really bad. He's had this is year difference. Bryce Young's playing a little bit better, but at this point last year, the Packers did sort of lay an egg. They got the win, but it wasn't the most convincing win. But then when that Vikings game hit and Jordan Love cooked that defense, and then they found a way to win against the Bears when the Bears were, I'd say, less of a disaster than they are this year. I feel like that last 10 games, maybe I just have a hard time with the fact that Jordan Love hasn't had a game like he had in that 10-game stretch last year. I'm still just waiting for that Jordan Love game. Has he had that game?
Jordan Love hasn't had that game, but he hasn't been asked to have that type of game, right? You even saw it last week against the Seattle Seahawks. Jordan Love didn't have to throw the football very often, or didn't have to throw the football downfield on that first drive. The Green Bay Packers have a running game that they can establish and pound it down people's throat early in the game. And so overall, we have not had to depend on Jordan Love to win these football games. We've been much more balanced offense. We talked about the fact that he's only thrown 20 passes, 18 passes in some games this year. If Jordan Love needs to open it up, he's shown us in the past, if he needs to throw 30 times, he'll do that, and he'll be, I shouldn't say super efficient, but he'll definitely throw a lot of touchdown passes. He can be impressive. But the Packers have not needed him to do that at all this year that much. Because I think that's what it really comes down to. It has nothing to do with Jordan Love. It has everything to do with the scheme, what the game plan is, the play calling that we have. And so you may not see a Jordan Love game for the rest of this season because of the fact that they have such a balanced attack, such a great rushing attack, and they're going up against a team like this we're going to see tonight is bad against stopping the run. So, I mean, honestly, it's to be a Josh Jacobs game, but it'd be nice to see Jordan Love let it rip a little bit. But it's up to Matt LaFleur to make that decision.
Yeah, I actually, again, I'm glad I stumbled in this in my head because I'm curious what people think. 800-990-3776. At this point in the season last year, were the 23 Packers playing better or were the 24 Packers playing better? And I think this week, believe it or not, if they take care of the Saints, I really, really, really feel like it would be very telling late in the year. Very similar but different scenario of like two teams, Panthers last year, Saints this year. The Packers haven't had that Baker Mayfield, Tommy DeVito type game this year, and I think that bodes well for the conversation of why they actually are a better threat to go further in the playoffs because they've shown that they beat the crap teams. And I think if they can continue to show me that they beat the crap teams and beat them in really, really bad when they're literally just gasping for a little bit of air, the Saints are drowning. And if you go up 14-0, it's over, right?
It is absolutely over.
We talked to Brad Nortman last week, Kyle. What did we ask him? When your team sucks and you know you're out of the playoffs, and they've shut down Kamara this week, Carr for the year, Olave for the year, Taysom Hill for the year, guess what these guys are going to do at 14-0? They're going to be thinking about those vacation plans.
Brad said he was thinking about his 5-week vacation he was going to take to Europe. That's exactly what they're going to be thinking about. So the Packers have to put them away early, and I think they have an opportunity to do that tonight. And then again, I go and I think about, you asked the question, is this team playing better now than what they were last year? Another factor you have to think about is defensively. Defensively, the Green Bay Packers have been a more consistent football team. Now, we want to see increased improvement, but as you watch Geno Smith go for 300 yards yesterday, the Green Bay Packers were able to slow down Geno Smith and then eventually knocked him out the football game. There has been a level of consistency that this defense is starting to have. You haven't seen that Baker Mayfield type game that you just talked about. And let me tell you, Geno and that offense that they have there in Seattle was capable of doing something like that. So that's why it's not just the offensive side of the football with Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs and all the weapons that they have. It's also the defensive side of the football that continues to force turnovers, and maybe they're getting sacks in bunches. We'll see. This week will be pretty, if they can continue to get some sacks this week, that'll be positive going into the following week. But overall, when you look at this team as a whole, offense, defense, and special teams in the kicking game, they are a more consistent and better football team than what they were when they finished hot last year.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm a little bit worried that everyone thinks the same thing. ESPN Madison on social media, ESPN Milwaukee on social media. I see every single talent that we have this team covering the spread. Every single person who has predicted this game has the Packers winning by 14.5 or more on ESPN Milwaukee and on ESPN Madison. So we're either going to be we're all right and the Saints suck, or this is tighter than what we all expect. So let's go to Chris and Muskego quickly, 800-990-3776.
Afternoon, gentlemen. How's it going? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff. In case I don't call before then.
Good to hear from you. Same back to you.
I see it as this is a game that they're supposed to win. I don't think they'll win by 14 because they usually play to the caliber of the talent in front of them, and that's a shame. But my other point is, I think next week is going to be the big decision maker on if they're equal to what they were last year at this time or if they're worse. But right now, I would say they're more balanced than they've been as of last year, because you had Jones hurt for several games at this time period last year when he was starting to come back. But I think as before, cannot...
Chris, hang on real quick, because you brought up a good point. I want to take it and run with it. I've heard a couple times today saying the Packers play to the level of competition. I think I have a little bit of a problem with that, because I know Brandon Allen was the starter, but playing to the level of the competition against a 49ers team that was desperate would not be beating them 38-10. The Dolphins, 30-17. Playing the Lions to a field goal is good, not great. You didn't get the win, but they played well. The Packers beat the Seahawks 30-13. In the last 3 games outside the Lions that they were supposed to win, they won big. And so I guess I have a problem with the playing to the level of competition when you look at those 3 games. Fair, Kyle?
That is absolutely fair. I was thinking the same thing. And that's one thing about this football team overall this year, is that they really haven't played down. We can actually cherry pick and think of the games against the Jags that maybe they were up and then they kind of let the team come back. But even the game when Malik Willis was in, when they played against the Tennessee Titans, they didn't play down to that competition. They smacked them, right? The Packers.
I just think you don't need to go that far back. You can just go with the last 4 weeks and say this team is playing well enough to say that they're not playing to level of competition.
That's true.
You break the season up in different parts. That was when Love was hurt and whatnot. Like they played well in that game early in the season, but this is a different version of the team post-bye since that Bears game. They have been heading in the direction you'd want them to against that lesser competition. 800-990. Yeah, 37-76. That definitely probably sticks in some people's heads. But I do want to ask that question to Jason Wilde and see what he thinks, because I disagree with it, and I want to hear what Jason thinks. Jason Wilde joins us next on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
We've called him Whitey Tighties. We've called him the Hall Monitor. He's Jesse Nelson. Like, he's just, I'm Jesse Nelson. Kyle, you're Jesse Nelson.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It looks like the holiday and rush hour traffic has begun, starting with 41 southbound. We've got delays beginning just past Mill Road, and you'll be pretty slow until about Hampton Avenue. Looking at 94, most of the standard westbound delays are starting downtown. It eases up once you get past American Family Field. Also seeing some eastbound delays on 94, starting back at State Fair Park until about the Stadium Interchange. And taking a look at 894, coming out of the Mitchell Interchange, you'll see slowdowns until about Loomis Road. Road conditions not too bad in the Milwaukee area, but if you are heading up to Lambeau Field for the game, you'll start encountering that wintry, slushy mix of precipitation in Sheboygan and Fond du Lac counties. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. Tonight we have a chance of that wintry mix early, then mostly cloudy skies, a low of 31. Tuesday, mostly cloudy, a high of 36. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Jessica Gatso on 94.5 ESPN.
What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be.
Kringle
I think his legs.
Yeah. Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry. Are you guys being serious? You guys can't put 2 and 2 I got it. I did not get it.
They don't call themselves Racine Danish turnover.
Sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you two, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Walls for Universal Windows Direct. It is the holiday season, which is a time for family, friends, and staying cozy inside. But if your home is drafty, it's hard to stay comfortable. And with all the gift giving happening this time of year, why don't you give yourself the gift of lower energy bills with new windows from Universal Windows Direct? For every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free plus 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply. Go to uwd.com and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
The Harlem Globetrotters 2025 World Tour is here, bringing all the cool tricks and laughs fans love. We're coming to the Fiserv Forum on December 31st. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com for tickets to the 2025 World Tour, presented by Jersey Mike Subs.
Experience the excellence of Catholic Memorial High School for yourself. Come see why their students gain a competitive edge at CMH. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule a VIP tour or student shadow day. Meet their inspiring teachers, welcoming students, and feel the energy of the CMH culture. All students achieve more than they ever imagined possible. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule your visit. That's CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha, where you rise.
Summerfest welcomes Def Leppard. June 19th, American Family Insurance Amphitheater during Summerfest. Get set to get rocked. Def Leppard with special guest Tesla. Tickets on sale now at summerfest.com and Ticketmaster outlets. Def Leppard, brought to you by Summerfest.
Ring in 2025 at American Place Casino. Join us for the Oztacular Countdown featuring $50,000 promotional drawings, merchandise giveaways, live entertainment, and more. They say seeing is believing, and at American Place Casino, you'll believe you found a real game changer. From table games to the hottest slots, plus dining, bars, and more, we've got it all. This New Year's Eve, let the celebration begin. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
I'm not leaving! I'm not leaving! The Wolf of Wall Street was on the other day when I was flipping through channel. Great family film.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
I'm a naturally inquisitive person.
Holding everybody accountable.
If you feel better about that, I'm happy to do so.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Joining us now on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman is Jason Wilde. No Brad Nortman, no Alex Strofe, Ashton Rotman holding it down. Jason, how are you?
I feel like crap. How are you?
Ooh. You good?
No, Jason.
We got something in this household, which is why I'm in my basement channeling my inner Wilde.
Nice. I love that. Yeah, I don't feel good.
I also have a dog on my lap, so there might be some Stella-inspired barks. We'll see what happens.
Love it. Yes, your turn. It's like that old Seinfeld episode that you two are too young to remember, but I'm turning into George. You're turning into me.
Festivus.
Bad news for you. Festivus.
Kyle's only reference to Seinfeld is Festivus.
I don't even know what it means.
There you have it.
I just say, everybody keeps saying, it's Festivus.
Well, he aired a grievance, believe it or not, and it was unprompted. Ashton Rotman had just mentioned in a segment that we gave to him today that he finished watching Enigma. That did not carry a lot of our conversation today, but it got Kyle going on something that I thought was absolutely ridiculous. He considers Aaron Rodgers' tenure as a Green Bay Packer a failure.
A what?
Jason,
exactly.
Hear me out, Jason. Hear me out. It was a great tenure. It was great. But overall, when we talk about success and failure, if you only have 2 options, him only making it to 1 Super Bowl, him not winning multiple Super Bowls, to me, with the roster, the talent that he had, this team, you have to admit that there was a lot more failures as a team than there were successes when it came to the playoffs. You have to admit there was a lot of disappointment, and you have to admit that he underachieved overall as a team and a leader of this football team. You have to admit that.
Sorry to make you feel worse, Jason.
No, it doesn't bother me. No, this is not how it works. Kyle, if you win a Super Bowl, you are by definition not a failure. Now, if you want to talk about individual seasons that were disappointments or quote-unquote failures, fine, but you cannot take someone's tenure that includes a Super Bowl championship and call it a failure. There's no way you don't know that.
Is it so? Would you say it's an underachievement?
I think you could argue that much more effectively. But again, the Super Bowl championship changes everything. Like, was Dan Marino's career a complete failure then?
I would say
he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
But there's a lot of guys. Dan Marino, when you talk about greatest quarterbacks of all time, Dan Marino's part of the conversation. But one thing that keeps him from being the greatest, and people talk about Joe Montana, who didn't throw.
We're not debating. We're not debating whether Aaron Rodgers is the GOAT.
And I'm just right. What I'm saying is this: is that for us overall as Packers fans, I would think if after 2010, 2011 season, when the Green Bay Packers won that Super Bowl, you probably, and myself and many of us Packers fans or writers, everybody probably thought that this team had a chance to win multiple Super Bowls, that Aaron Rodgers was probably going to win multiple Super Bowls. If we look back, as we can now, we'll probably say, dang, that's disappointing that Aaron only got 2-1. He only got 2-1.
Disappointing is a different word. Disappointing is a different word than failure.
Okay, well, I'm the
failure.
Okay, well,
words matter, Kyle. Words matter.
Success versus failure. I would say overall, he failed at doing what we all expected him to do and what he probably expected of himself to do. You know Aaron Rodgers very well. What do you think he would say? Would you say he's after the 49ers multiple times in the playoffs? Would he say, "Man, we failed as a team to get to our overall goal of winning a Super Bowl"?
But no, you're trying so hard to find a way to make failure. Look. I work in words. Like some artists work in clay, others in oil, others in crayon. I work in words. So disappointment, underachievement, go right ahead. Use those all day long. You cannot call a Super Bowl champion player, a 4-time NFL MVP, failure. You can't do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, when I look at these overall teams,
other words are fair. Other words are fair, Kyle. Your disappointment that you feel as a fan, totally fair. But failure is not the word you're looking for.
I'm gonna look up.
He's projecting his emotions and disappointment on Festivus onto Aaron Rodgers right now. I don't think that's very fair
Jason,
of him.
Non-fulfillment. How about that?
Unfulfilling. Another great word.
Lack of success.
But it sure as hell
Kyle,
was
you're
fulfilling.
supposed to work in words too, and Jason had to fill you in on the right one there.
I was just looking at failure synonyms.
I love synonyms.
Synonyms. I like cinnamons. I like it sprinkled on my toast.
Yeah.
Synonyms.
Yeah. It's a nice add-on.
I knew
Jason.
I know this would get Jason fired up. You did too, Ben.
No, everyone's been fired up because it's just a bad take. It's just wrong. But what's also wrong, Jason,
failure is a powerful word, guys. I want you to understand. There are that's why
don't throw the guys in there. I'm with you, Jason.
Okay, Kyle, way to go, Kyle.
There we go. Now, another thing I've been hearing, it happened twice on the show, and I've been I don't know why. I don't know if it's the Bears game that's living in people's head or Jacksonville, but people have been saying this team plays to the level of their competition. I wholeheartedly agree, despite the fact that it was cold. There's still a lot of talent on the Dolphins. Despite the fact that it was Brandon Allen, there's still a desperate and good coach on the other side. We saw what Matt LaFleur did with a backup quarterback. The Seahawks was not close. This team takes care of the teams they're supposed to take care of, especially in recent times. Do you agree with me that it's wrong to think they play to the level of competition?
Starting to get nervous about how much I'm agreeing with you and the fact you're turning into me in your basement with your dog on your lap. Yeah, I
you go to YouTube. You'd actually really enjoy it. He's on my lap.
I don't know. A certain person on the panel today said our headline starring Stella and Sadie was cringy. So I'm down on Jesse Nelson for that. I thought, again, another guy who doesn't understand the significance of which word you choose. Corny might have worked. Corny, right? Two dogs talking like it's Look Who's Talking or whatever. But homeward bound. Anyway, no, I don't think they do. First of all, I think this is something that we need to remember from time to time, because folks like Kyle, who has grown up in the Favre, Rodgers, Love era, or other folks his age, they do, talk to Ben's brother. Ben's brother will fill you in on what it's like to be a Bears fan, right? I love right, and I love Jonathan, but man, he really struggles with that. Like, as great of a Golden Tee player as he might have been, his NFL fandom has been a failure, and so it's hard to win in the NFL, even against bad teams. I mean, look at yesterday with the Buffalo Bills and New England. They had a rally to win that game, right? Are you telling me that New England's as good as Buffalo? Of course not. But sometimes you make a few mistakes, you find yourself in trouble, and then you have to figure out a way to get out of it before you finish the 60 minutes and you've lost to a bad team. Look, Matt LaFleur can do this till he's blue in the face. The Saints are bad. They fired their coach. Good teams don't fire their coach. Good teams aren't missing their preferred starting quarterback, their number one wide receiver, and their number one running back. And Derek Carr ain't playing. Alvin Kamara's not playing. Chris Olave's not playing. Their best receiver right now is MVS, who they picked up off the scrap heap at midseason. These guys are bad, but that doesn't mean that the Packers are going to win 49-10 tonight either.
Well, Jason, what do you want? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to say, so from this game, that's the biggest thing, is we all believe they're probably going to win. Not sure if they're going to cover or not. But what is it that you believe the Packers need to figure out or prove in this game in order to build their confidence up moving forward as they take on the Vikings next week?
Get out of the game without anybody getting hurt. That's what they need to prove.
Okay.
Win the game. I don't care if you win by 1 or 100. If I'm a Packers fan, I am walking out of this game going, hey, they won. It was ugly. But Josh Jacobs didn't get hurt. Jordan Love didn't get hurt. None of the wide receivers got hurt. Tucker Kraft is still healthy. All their offensive linemen finished the game or went out of the game early because they went to their backups because they were up by enough in the fourth quarter. I mean, you saw Jalen Hurts go out yesterday with a concussion. Now, is he going to be back next week, or is he going to be back for the playoffs? Whatever it might be, that's the biggest thing here. Now, yeah, you still need to win. So you can't, say, all right, we're going to start resting guys with 3 games left in the season. You can't do that, right? They're not even technically in the playoffs yet. So they still have work to do. But to me, the biggest thing is, all right, let's make sure you get out of here without anybody suffering a major injury, and that way you are taking care of business, even if it's ugly. I mean, Matt LaFleur will get up there and say, we never apologized for winning. There's a lot of things we need to clean up, but the fact that we beat these bums, not that he would say bums because he was trying to convince us all week long how good these guys are. But the fact that we beat these guys by 6 points doesn't matter. We got the W. It's on to Minnesota. And so, to me, that's what this is about tonight. Get out of this game however you need to by winning the game and hope that your injury luck, which has been magnificent so far this season, continues.
Yeah, and Jason, quickly before we let you go, Josh Jacobs, I'm in between where I feel about, the lessening of reps and I love how he talked, how he was feeling, and I don't almost as an athlete perspective, I was trying to put myself in those shoes. The moment you start thinking about, the lessening the load or doing things differently, that's when you get in trouble of maybe getting injured because you're changing what you're doing. Gosh, we're 3 for 3. This is getting weird.
Yeah, I got to
change the way you approach Josh
Maybe
Jacobs.
You're improving, Ben. Maybe you're becoming a better man going into 2025.
Let's not get out of hand here. No, I agree with you again, Ben. I really do. And I don't think that's look. It's I know this is how I am. This is how I'm wired. I worry. I always want to take the safest approach. That is how my brain works. I can guarantee you that Josh Jacobs' brain doesn't work that way. I guarantee you. That's not who he is. That's not how he operates. So he's not sitting there going, boy, I better only take about 15 carries today because otherwise that 16th carry I could get hurt. And this team is screwed without me. That's just not how he operates, and that's not how he will operate. So I love his mentality. I love what he's about. I think he is the epitome of what you want in a running back. And look, I loved Aaron Jones. I've told you guys this all season, but Josh Jacobs is just better for this team. He makes life so much easier for Jordan Love than even Aaron Jones could. And remember, Aaron Jones finished the year on a 5-game streak of 100-yard rushing games. So he is really important to what they do, but more importantly, I love his attitude that prevents him from – I mean, the guy never seems to get tired. And he never – he gets done with a game and has to play again on the Thursday night after that. And he's like, yeah, load me up again with 25 more touches. I'm fine with that. And it works for him. I don't know how, but it does.
Jason, I appreciate the time. I know Kyle does as well. As you set him straight, let him know that his words do matter. Maybe that will be his New Year's resolution, telling himself every day when he wakes up, my words do matter.
Hey, we all make mistakes, Kyle, even me, rarely. But, yeah, failure too strong.
Happy holidays, Jason.
Feel better, Jason.
Same to you guys. I don't know. I hope I have enough voice left from 5 till 6 with Stroh for the Wilde hour, and then I got to make it through a post-game show later, too. So, you guys, do you think lozenges or tea? What do I need to do
tea
here?
with honey.
I sound rough.
Tea with honey.
They have that at, like, Starbucks?
They have something called like a
sure.
bomb or something like that that's really good.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that.
So I've heard.
See, we all ended up on a good note. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, Jason. You're welcome.
All right, take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde. Listen to Jason Wilde and Tausch weekdays 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin. To hear him coming up from 4 to 5 to 6 on the Green Bay Game Day pregame show across ESPN Wisconsin. Coming up next, the Green Bay Props and Preview, plus Alex Stroh live from Green Bay is going to join us before said Green Bay Game Day pregame show. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman till 4. Don't go anywhere.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
I think it's clear.
Yeah, and if Doc replicates what Booty did last year, or all I'm saying
Come on, guys! His name is Coach Bud!
If he replicates
Coach Booty!
what Coach Bud
on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
94 westbound delays start downtown and continue just past American Family Field. And heading eastbound, you'll see delays when you hit State Fair Park, continuing a little ways past the stadium. 43 northbound, also just a hair slow once you're getting out of downtown. And taking a look at 894, we've got delays starting at the Hale Interchange until about 76th Street, heading eastbound. And looking at the Mitchell Interchange, heading westbound, those delays until about Loomis Road. Traffic is sponsored by Land Rover Waukesha. Get 3.9 special APR financing for up to 72 months on a new 2025 Range Rover Velar at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com. Tonight, a chance for that wintry mix early. Mostly cloudy skies, low of 31. Tuesday, mostly cloudy, a high of 36. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Join their 2-man scramble tournament and play Whistling Straits for a chance to win cash through the 31st. Sign up at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Jessica Gatso on 94.5 ESPN.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Mike Wells.
They're 0-2 against Atlanta Falcons
this season. The Falcons swept them. So Michael Penix could be in this situation where he steps in and leads the Falcons to the division title. Tied, technically, both teams are going to be 8-7. Atlanta swept the Buccaneers this season. And from a division standpoint, they got a 2-game lead. So Michael Penix handles his business in the final 2 games. It's going to be tough. He's going on the road next weekend to play the Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, and then they close out against, the Carolina Panthers, who have not been good this year. So this could be a great story where Penix steps in, saves the Falcons season, and then goes in and starts the playoff game. Things just got very interesting in what I thought has been a very boring division in the NFL, meaning the NFC South.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Now, if you believe, like many of the ESPN Wisconsin personalities, which is everyone, if you go to Instagram and check out our socials, everybody is picking the Green Bay Packers to win by over 14.5 points.
Go Pack, go!
Which would mean if you go to Potawatomi Casino Hotel and go to the sports book and place a wager, you can either fade us or follow us, but if you think we're experts and we think you know what we're talking about, you know what to do. Potawatomi Casino Hotel, the brand new sports book, 2,000 square foot video wall to enjoy the game. You don't have to bet. They have great food, comfortable seating. The movie theater of sports viewing is right at your disposal at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Paysbig.com/sportsbook to build your bet. No better place. The kitchen has great food. Check out Potawatomi Casino Hotel and the sports book.
Here's an idea. Why don't you give me half the money you were going to bet? Then we'll go out back, I'll kick you in the nuts, and we'll call it a day.
Gather round, fans. It's time for the GBPP. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman are here to tell you how they plan to lose their money this weekend. This is the Green Bay Props and Preview.
Hey, guys.
All right, Ashy.
Last time I was producing the show was ahead of the Lions Thursday night game, and I had a good time doing this segment, so obviously I thought I would just do such a good time this second round as well. Let's start with Rashawn Gary.
Oh, Struggle City.
We already know it's going to be horrible. It doesn't matter. Every segment I do should be called This Segment Sucks. Rashawn Gary over under a half sack. He's had, I think, 4 sacks in his last 5 games. He looks competent out there for the first time in the last, season and a half probably. What do you think? Half sack? You guys taking the over or under?
Yeah, I'm going to take over. I'm sorry, Ben. You go ahead.
No. I like this. With me in the basement, let's go Kyle, then me.
Yeah, I think the Green Bay Packers get some sacks tonight. I think Rashawn Gary is one of them as well. He has to get a sack where he eats, right? He dominates somebody. I want to see that. So I think Rashawn Gary gets a sack today.
Yeah, I like the over. I mean, look, 4 out of the last 5. You had mentioned that, Ashy. He's leading the team in pressures and progressively has been doing a lot better at creating pressure on his own and not just kind of finding his way to a sack. I'd like to believe he gets there, and it will be a good test with a quarterback that will likely panic, not stay in the pocket because he just wants to run around. His name is Spencer Rattler. I like Rashawn to get a sack here. And if the odds are only minus 114, that's a good pays big bet.
I feel really good about him getting the sack. Let's move on to the next one. Jordan Love over 225 passing yards. That is what I'm wondering if you guys would take that bet. And the reason I wanted to do this one is because you guys were talking about Josh Jacobs with Jason Wilde. He's obviously been hot as of late, but also the weather in Green Bay is not necessarily great passing weather, but I still feel pretty good about it against the Saints.
Yeah, I really want this to be a Jordan Love day, but I just have a feeling that the Green Bay Packers, based off what they did last week, right, I feel like the formula is just running the football against bad teams and imposing your will on others. I think that's part of establishing the identity of what we're going to be, this tough, rugged, hard-nosed football team during the playoffs. So I do believe it will be lower than this for Jordan Love. Pass for 200, you said 25?
225.
Yeah, lower than that today.
You know, I'm looking forward to hearing from Alex Strofe, who's up in Green Bay. I'm sad for Kyle and Brad because I mentioned Pato Sportsbook. They had a bet that they placed that Jordan Love needed to go over 4,000 yards for the season.
3,700, 800.
Damn. And I think Brad said he needs like 275 the last couple games here on average. So I'm just going to say over for you guys since I love you guys, but look forward to getting a weather report from Alex Strofe.
It's okay, brother. It's okay. Money is made to be won and lost, but the fun and the journey is what matters.
All right,
Did you just make that up?
It's the sweater.
Did it make sense?
It's the sweater.
It ended up making sense, but you tried to sound like a philosopher, and it wasn't.
What are you saying today?
I asked Gabe because Gabe's smart, and he
Gabe's
said
nice to you.
He said
He's
it
not
made
gonna
sense
tell
for
you
me.
the
He said it
truth.
made sense for me, so that's good coming from me.
Yes,
Yeah.
for Kyle, yes. If Gabe is in the studio, I think he's reading that correct.
No, I mean, it makes sense. I think for most people, it doesn't make sense for Kyle. This is the guy that wants to guard all of his money with all of his life. Like he had to be pretty much coerced in order to give you the $100 when you did the red-black thing
You
in
saw
Vegas.
that result. You saw that result.
Gabe.
But we all knew what the result was going to be.
Dang,
Gabe, you know what the worst part for Kyle is?
What's that?
I knocked him out of the big money fantasy league that he had to pay $750.
Ooh, in this economy?
Yeah, I know, right? His team went crazy, Gabe.
at his
And then
face
this
the
week they
minute we
were
did that.
garbage this week. I can't believe it.
Oh boy, we got glasses on the forehead.
Glasses on the forehead.
Gabe,
He's defeated.
Yeah, no, my team. Was
I said, Gabe, if we end up winning the championship, it's quite the prize. I can buy your family some presents.
I hope it's $750 with the
Such a
presents.
bad. Hey, Gabe, while you're here, I'll give you let's do quickly. I'm going to give you the first two props and preview.
Okay.
Rashawn Gary over under half sack.
I'll take the under.
And Jordan Love over 225 passing yards.
I'm saying under because he's sitting by the halfway through the third quarter.
Ooh, okay.
Hey!
Which actually leads me greatly into the third one here. Nice and quick. We'll do two more nice and quick here. The spread is 14.5. I know you guys talked about it earlier. I just want to know straight up, do you guys think they're going to cover?
Yeah, I'm going to Packers cover.
I do. Kyle does. I do. I think, Gabe, I saw your prediction. You do as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the Saints score points. Like, all of their players are injured.
Yes.
Literally the entire team, and their defense can't stop the run. Like, it would be really bad for this team if they don't win by double digits. It would make me really question this team because, as you mentioned, Spencer Rattler, garbage. Kamara, out. Olave's been out. Taysom Hill, been out. Defense decimated. As Brad Nortman talked to us last week, Gabe, you know what those Saints players are doing as soon as they go down 7-0?
Oh, they're... I want to see so many Spencer Rattler I'm cold on the sideline pictures.
Is that real that he was doing something to train for get prepared for the cold game? He was sitting in a freezer?
No, they held a practice in the freezer.
I forgot this even happened.
They held a walkthrough in their big freezer that they have in the team kitchen area. You know, they've got a big freezer back there.
They're cooked.
They held like a walkthrough in there to try to get ready for the cold.
Hold on, now. What if it works?
Cooked. No, it doesn't. No, it's different. You can get out of there. You can't get out of this. You ain't going to be getting hit in this. It's over. It's over.
There.
They just like the Dolphins. It's a wrap.
And to tie a bow on that, Gabe, Brad says when they suck and they're out of the playoffs when he was with the Jags, he said, I planned my Europe vacation. And if these guys are going to be cold, they're going to be planning a getaway to somewhere warm. And I think I would love for Gabe to stay because coming up next on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, we're doing a little crosstalk with Gabe and Alex Strofe, who's in Green Bay, for a little crosstalk before Green Bay Game Day pregame show, which you don't have to go anywhere for because we got you right here on 94.5 ESPN, 100.5 ESPN Madison. Gabe Neitzel, Alex Strofe joined Kyle Wallace and Ben Brust for a little crosstalk next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Ben's pretty good at impersonations.
Hey, he's pretty good.
I
either crush him or suck at him.
He's pretty good at faking it.
Yeah, being a faker.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Whoa.
That's what acting is.
Why can't we come together?
Yeah, you're very creative in faking it. Good job.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
This offense, Matt LaFleur's side of the ball, dragged this whole team through where they are right now.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
The defense got hot at the right time. That might be what we're seeing here with the Packers defense as well.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
College hockey returns to Fiserv Forum with the 4th annual Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off, December 28th and 29th.
The Wisconsin Badgers return to defend their title, facing the Ferris State Bulldogs in semifinal action on day one. The Yukon Huskies and Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks will battle for the other spot in the championship game.
Don't miss the college hockey action coming to Milwaukee and see who wins the championship on day 2. Secure your seats today at Ticketmaster.com.
Wilde Automotive Group's year-end sale is here, and we're saying yes to the lowest prices of the year on over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles. Yes to 0% financing, no money down, and no payments till March 2025. With Ewald's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle, and Ewald's guaranteed lowest price. Say yes to our biggest savings of the year through year-end at every Ewald location.
Go to EWaldAuto.com.
To approve credit on select models, interest accrues from date of purchase. Offer expires month end.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now, Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that is now available to see patients. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol, learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
It's almost go time, Christmas shoppers. So if you're feeling the crunch, check out Fleet Farm for hot last-minute deals. Keep your feast tasty with a Nesco 18-quart roaster, now just $59.99. Keep your loved ones toasty with Milwaukee heated apparel and get a free battery pack with purchase. Speaking of cozy, get a portable buddy heater with fuel filter for only $69.99. Wrap up your holiday shopping now at Fleet Farm, home of the best prices guaranteed.
'Tis the season for celebrating, so why not make your holiday gathering unforgettable? Give your team or clients an experience they'll talk about long after the new year with V Private Bar Services. Forget the same old office party. With custom cocktails tailored to your brand and a top-notch mixologist team, V Private Bar Services brings the magic of a high-end bar to your event. Make this holiday season extraordinary. Visit VPrivateBar.com to book your premier party today. That's VPrivateBar.com for your next unforgettable event.
Every day, Wisconsin's 600,000 family caregivers help their loved ones to continue living safely in their own homes. It's not easy. Each year, they spend an average of $7,000 out of their own pockets to provide this care. Wisconsin needs family caregivers, and they need more support. Tell your state lawmakers, Wisconsin family caregivers need a caregiver tax credit in 2025. Learn more at aarp.org/WI. That's aarp.org/WI. Paid for by AARP Wisconsin.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I came here tonight, and I see you.
Quite
got
honestly,
what I wanted.
I have so many things I want to bring up right now with Gabe Neitzel and Alex Strofe. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Ashton Rotman running the show, leading into the Green Bay Game Day pregame show with Gabe and Strofe. All right, read option. Kyle's wearing his girlfriend's sweater, or Kyle said Aaron Rodgers' tenure as a Packer was a failure?
Oh.
Wait, how is his tenure as a Packer
how is this a read option?
Well, no, I want to know how it's a failure.
Well, I mean, overall, it's a little bit of a. Would you say, Gabe, that Aaron Rodgers under what? They were disappointed.
See, you said failure.
Yeah, say what you want. Say what you mean.
Yeah, okay.
Say it with your chest.
Okay, for
Say it with
me,
your
I'm going to
chest,
say one
Kyle.
chest.
Come
Overall,
on.
for me, it was a great time. I loved it. He was incredible. Great memories. But at the end of the day, the goal is to win Super Bowls. When you have the roster that you have, when you are the quarterback you are, when you win all the accolades, the individual accolades, you shouldn't be a 4-time MVP playing on a team that was a number 1 seed multiple times, home playoff games, and you come away with 1 Super Bowl appearance. Just 1 Super Bowl appearance when you were a 6 seed and you made that appearance. So then you went the next 10 straight seasons, 11, 12 seasons where you never made it back to the Super Bowl. That's disappointing. It's disheartening. And for me, it's not success. It's failure. He's still great. It doesn't take away from what I believe he is as an individual quarterback.
Kind of feels like if his career was a failure, it kind of feels like
team-wise, his
kind of feels like it might have.
Did he
might take away?
The word failure might be a little strong here, wouldn't you say?
So would Brett also be a failure?
No, see,
correct.
Brett
That's
was
exactly
different.
what he's saying.
See, Brett was different because Brett took a dormant organization and franchise, and he took them to multiple Super Bowls. Whereas Aaron Rodgers took over for a team that was in the NFC Championship just a year before, and he didn't coast off Brett whatsoever, but he continued on with the success. It's, to me, you have to admit, you, Strofe, we're all disappointed that we only made it to 2 Super Bowls with Aaron Rodgers.
Sure. So what you're saying is if Brandon Bostic recovers an onside kick, then Aaron Rodgers' career isn't a failure.
That's exactly where my head is, Gabe.
Hold on. I guess my follow-up then would be, Kyle, I know we're only a year plus in, but wouldn't that be defined as Jordan Love has been a failure then thus far
Jordan
as well?
Love, he hasn't been a failure because the team that he took over was not a playoff team the year before. The team he took over also happened to be one of the youngest teams in the NFL. And to me, overall, last year they outperformed expectations. See, he's on the right foot. Now, with the roster that we have, if Jordan Love was to go on with the talent that they're building together as a unit, if he was to go on to win no Super Bowls, not 1 Super Bowl with the roster that they have and what they're building here, that would be a disappointment as well.
I feel that's different than the word failure.
Correct.
It'll be a failure too. I can say
All
that.
right.
If Jordan Love wins 0 Super Bowls with the Green Bay Packers based off the way the Packers are building his roster, it would be a failure. I don't see anything drastically changing based off how conservative the Packers are with decision making.
Feels like to me you got out over your skis
with my popcorn right now and just see Gabe, just in Strofe, just dissect him.
Well, I mean, because it seems like he got out over his skis. He used the word failure, and he's right now regretting that. Notice how he's really backed off the word failure and moved on to disappointment.
Where's the ding button?
Jason told me I was too extreme with the word failure.
Yeah, because I don't think it was a failure.
You don't have your own opinion anymore. This is the Strofe saying you don't have a backbone.
I do have a backbone. Listen,
You're lacking a backbone.
You all are just afraid to say it. I say what everybody's afraid of. We love the time, but damn it, he only got his 1 ring. He only got the 1 Super Bowl. I thought I was going to be doing the Packer reign all through 2011, 2012. We go 15-1. We get put up by the Giants.
The Packer reign. What year is it?
The Packer. We were doing it, green and yellow. I thought we were going to be doing that from 2010, 2011, 2013. 14, 15, you could not have told me in 2024.
The 11-time Super Bowl champion Green Bay Packers over the last 15 years.
Everybody's disappointed that we only got to 1 Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. That's a failure if Aaron Rodgers only gets to 1 Super Bowl.
I came to realize today, guys, that Kyle forgets there's not just 1 team in the NFL. There are 31 others.
He does tend to forget that occasionally. That's all right, though. We still love him. Yeah, the word failure was the misstep here. If you would have said an incredible disappointment, I would have been in lockstep with you. The word failure...
I have to use the word disappointment right now because the fact that you guys are not asking follow-ups as to how he ended up wearing his girlfriend's sweater is
I think it looks snug. I think it looks fantastic.
Thank you.
I think that looks fantastic.
I only need Gabe's approval. That's all I need. Nobody else matters. Nobody else here is stylish. We know Gabe is stylish. We know Strofe isn't stylish.
Gabe is stylist.
He is stylish. Gabe is the handsome gentleman. If people say
the same bodies as I do, the rollbacks.
Gabe,
how's dirty the hat he's wearing today?
Attractive men on ESPN Wisconsin, hands down.
I'd vote yes on that poll.
Thank you.
I'll take it.
Hell of a dynamic duo. Ebony and Ivory.
All right. Green Bay game day. Cool. Game show.
Maybe I'm
up next on these stations.
You're a good producer.
I don't know the countdown, Ashton. They're up in 2 minutes.
Yeah, you're said now.
Okay.
Nice job, guys.
Sell out.
We do have some precipitation coming down in the Milwaukee area, so do be cautious on the road.